Noisy Pixel.
While I try to play each visual novel that I can, there are many that fly under my radar. Sukuban Games' futuristic Bartender Adventure is one of those titles, and now that it has come to Nintendo Switch, I don't have any more excuses not to play it. After completing it, I ended up regretting waiting this long for this unique and brilliant game. I'm Azario Lopez and this is Noisy Pixel's review for Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action on Nintendo Switch. Valhalla introduces Jill, a young girl who works at a small hole-in-the-wall bar named Valhalla in a futuristic city known as Glitch City. What's interesting is that this bar isn't really all that interesting, but it somehow serves as the perfect setting for the game to take place in. The story begins by introducing Jill's co-workers and the art of mixing drinks. I'll admit I was a little overwhelmed with the idea of having to memorize ingredients for drinks, but the game kindly has a book with everything you need to know to make all the drinks in the game. The game presents a unique way of storytelling by using the interactions with bar patrons as a way to progress the narrative. These characters will spill their guts and reveal interesting things about their lives and relationships over the course of the game. It's through these conversations that players will learn new things about Jill and who she is, as well as how she reacts to certain customers and situations. Throughout the game, players will learn the likes and dislikes of characters who visit the bar. Furthermore, each interaction offers insights on that character's life, but also a small piece of who Jill is and her backstory. Jill isn't an empty shell protagonist, but there are things that the player can do to shape the adventure in their own way. For my first time through the game, I found that if I didn't like a character, I wouldn't make them the right drinks, which made the game's story feel more tailored to my actions. However, doing this does affect the tips received at the end of the day, which doesn't help pay the rent on time. Other than that, Jill has a tendency to get distracted, so buying posters or figures are just a few of the things players will need to purchase for her room in order to keep her happy. The story of Valhalla is everything, and I never seem to tire of the visual novel elements in the game. This is thanks to the game's amazing writing, where the pacing is kept slow, but there always seems to be something that pops up to keep the player's interest. Some subjects that emerge in the game border on the line of criminal or even sexual themes. The writers of the game didn't hold back to what they threw at the player in terms of colorful characters, but it can get rather distasteful for some. Being a visual novel fan myself, nothing really stood out to me as being too much, but I can see where this might turn more casual players away. Graphics in Valhalla present some great pixel art character designs which fit their personalities and mannerisms. The developers clearly knew the music in the game was good by giving the player the chance to fine-tune their playlists on the jukebox. The Nintendo Switch version of the game takes advantage of the console's Rumble HD Joy-Con by using them to signify the speed of which drinks are being mixed. The game is great to take on the go with the Switch, but it is a little bit on the dark side, which doesn't always work well with the Switch's screen in daylight. Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action is one of those marathon, not a race type of games, and approaching the game with that in mind will prove the best overall experience. The game has some amazing moments of storytelling where the player learns about dozens of characters as well as the main protagonist over the course of a 10-hour story. The story of using drinks in order to connect with characters and have that be used to branch the paths of the narratives feels so seamless as you go through the game for the first time. The casual nature and lack of any real antagonist, other than not having enough money to pay rent, was confusing at first, but after I became more comfortable with the flow of the game, I sat back, relaxed, and got to personally know the citizens of Glitch City over a drink. Noisy Pixel is giving Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is ran by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.